you ain't real.
Hey guys, this is Tyler Davis, Sweetwater sales engineer. I started scratching records over 12 years ago, and I've learned a lot of things along the way that I'd like to share with you. And we're gonna do a rig rundown and talk about some of the basics that you're gonna need when you get started. When you get started scratching records, there's a couple things that you're gonna have to have. You need 2 turntables, a mixer, needles, and records. In a turntable, you want a direct drive motor, something that's gonna really have a lot of torque, a high output, because when you're grabbing the record and moving it back and forth, you want that motor to be able to continue to spin under the record. One of the first things that you're gonna wanna do when you get your new turntable is it's gonna come with a hard rubber mat that goes on top of the metal platter. You wanna get rid of that thing altogether. You're gonna need one of the slip mats that should be included with your new turntable, and between that you wanna put a piece of wax paper. Something like that that's gonna help reduce any friction or anything between the slip mat and the motor spinning. The next thing that you're gonna need to think about is the type of needle that you're gonna go with. There's really 2 different styles. The classic Shure M44-7, which is gonna mount on the included head shell that's gonna come with your new turntable. This is gonna be something that you're gonna need to connect the pins in the back and screw into the top of the head shell. It will take a little bit of work, but it's definitely worth it. The other kind that you're gonna get is, think plug and play. This is the Ortofon Concord series, and this is gonna be one that's an all-in-one right out of the box, you're ready to go. It's got the 4 connections right on the back, and this is gonna make the connection with the end of the tone arm. So you pretty much just put it in, screw it down, and you're ready to rock. The next thing that you really need to consider is the type of mixer that you get. If you'll notice, these turntables are set up vertically, and that's called battle style. And the thing about the mixer is, for scratching, you don't need a bunch of bells and whistles, you don't need 4 channels. Most of the battle mixers are gonna come with 2 channels. You got your right and you got your left. You just got your basic volumes up and down, so if you throw a beat on, it's gonna play through, and you got your volume up and you got your volume down. The other thing to consider is the crossfader, and when it comes to scratching, which I'll show you here in a minute, this thing comes into play because this is basically think of a mute switch. You're gonna have it on, off, on, off. Some DJs will contour this to where you can have it gradually slope up, and then it'll gradually get quieter, or you can have it all the way on, all the way off, just like that. The next thing you're gonna need is a good quality set of speakers. I like having a set of studio monitors there close to my turntable setup, that way I can clearly hear what I'm doing. I've always relied on the KRK Rockets. They got a nice low end punch, which is perfect for hip hop. The next thing that you need to consider is the actual music that you're gonna play. Something that I ran into when I was starting is I thought I could just run over to my grandparents' record collection and grab the Rolling Stones or the Beatles or something and start cutting it up. It doesn't necessarily work like that. You're gonna wanna find some kind of battle record that's gonna have specific sounds, samples, one-shots, and instrumentals that you're gonna be able to cut on top of. And another thing to consider is on the record. You've seen stickers used by DJs all throughout history, and the reason for that is you gotta think of a record as it's linear. So it's not like a CD player where you can jump around. So this is, think 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock. So when you're looking at your turntable and scratching, you know that that sound starts at 12 o'clock and plays till 4 o'clock. You need to keep your hand back there and pull that sticker back to 12 o'clock. And that's how you're gonna keep track of the sound that you're scratching. The perfect example of what I was talking about is this spot on the record. It's pointing to, say, 10 o'clock and plays till 4 o'clock. So what you want to do is grab the record, bring it back so that you can get the very beginning part of that sound. That's going to give you that crisp, clean scratch sound. The other thing that you'll notice is I'm using the crossfader to open it to allow that sound to come through. Basically like a mute switch, on and off. Reverse is the way that I have it. So if you notice, the crossfader is facing this record, which right now has it off. Reverse basically is just a switch that'll be on most battle style mixers. You flip the reverse and now it's always on. It's just a matter of personal preference. You'll have to try it yourself and figure out which way you like it. So back to the choice of records. Again, you're gonna want some battle records that just have instrumentals. For example, on this side, I just have an instrumental platform to scratch on top of. To gear that we've used today in the video are the Reloop RP7000 MK2, the Pioneer DJ, DJM S9, Pioneer DJ headphones. We've used the Shure M44-7 needle and the Ortofon Reloop Concord. If you have any other questions or anything, please feel free to leave them in the comments or give us a phone call.